Starting a business is always a risky proposition. Many new businesses fail. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to reduce the risk and increase the chances of success? That's the idea behind the Lean Startup methodology. The Lean Startup is a way of building businesses and products that focuses on learning as quickly as possible. It was developed by Eric Ries, who wrote a book about it in 2011. The Lean Startup methodology encourages entrepreneurs to test their ideas early and often, and to change direction based on what they learn. This approach is especially important for startups, which are new businesses with limited resources. Startups need to be smart about how they use their time and money, and the Lean Startup methodology can help them do that. The Lean Startup methodology has become increasingly popular in recent years as more and more entrepreneurs have seen the benefits of this approach. One of the key principles of the Lean Startup methodology is the minimum viable product, or MVP. This is a version of a product with just enough features to attract early adopter customers and validate a product idea early in the product development cycle. The goal of the MVP is not to create a perfect product, but to learn as much as possible about your customers and what they want. By releasing an MVP, you can get feedback from real users and use that feedback to improve your product. Creating an MVP can be a challenge, as it requires you to prioritize features and make tough decisions about what to include. However, the benefits of releasing an MVP early on far outweigh the risks. By getting your product in front of customers as soon as possible, you can start learning and iterating right away, which will increase your chances of building a successful product. The build, measure, learn loop is another important concept in the Lean Startup methodology. This is a continuous cycle of building, measuring, and learning that helps startups to improve their products and businesses over time. The first step in the loop is to build something, which could be an MVP, a new feature, or even just a small change to an existing product. Once you have built something, you need to measure how well it is performing. This could involve tracking metrics such as customer acquisition cost, customer lifetime value, or user engagement. The final step in the loop is to learn from the data you have collected. What is working well? What could be improved? Based on your learnings, you can then make decisions about what to build next. The build, measure, learn loop is an iterative process, which means that you will go through the cycle multiple times as you develop your product. Each time you go through the loop, you should aim to learn something new that will help you to improve your product. Customer development is another essential aspect of the Lean Startup methodology. This involves talking to your customers regularly to understand their needs and pain points. Customer development can take many forms, including surveys, interviews, and focus groups. The key is to ask open-ended questions and to listen carefully to what your customers have to say. The insights you gain from customer development can be invaluable in helping you to make decisions about your product. By understanding your customers' needs, you can ensure that you are building a product that people actually want. Customer development is an ongoing process, and it is important to continue talking to your customers throughout the product development lifecycle. As your product evolves, so too will your customers' needs. Section 5. to pivot or persevere, making tough decisions. One of the most difficult decisions that startups face is whether to pivot or persevere. A pivot is a significant change in direction, while persevering means continuing on the current path. There is no easy answer to the question of when to pivot or persevere. However, the Lean Startup methodology can provide a framework for making these tough decisions. If you are not seeing the results you want, it may be time to consider a pivot. This could involve changing your target market, your product, or even your entire business model. On the other hand, if you are seeing some positive signs, it may be worth persevering. It is important to remember that building a successful business takes time and effort. The decision of whether to pivot or persevere is never easy, but by using the Lean Startup methodology, you can make informed decisions that are based on data and customer feedback. Section 6. Dropbox, a Lean Startup success story. Dropbox is a great example of a company that has successfully used the Lean Startup methodology. When Drew Houston first came up with the idea for Dropbox, he wasn't sure if people would be interested in using a file sharing service. Rather than spending months or even years building a full-featured product, Houston decided to create an MVP. He created a simple video that explained how Dropbox would work, even though the product didn't even exist yet. Houston shared the video on a few online forums, and to his surprise, it quickly went viral. Within a few days, he had thousands of people signed up for the Dropbox waiting list. The success of Houston's MVP proved that there was a demand for Dropbox, and it gave him the confidence to continue building the product. Today, Dropbox is one of the most popular file sharing services in the world, with over 700 million users. Section 7. Boosting productivity and quality with Lean. The Lean Startup methodology is not just about building products more efficiently, it is also about building better products. By focusing on customer needs and iterating rapidly, startups can create products that are more likely to meet the needs of their target market. In addition, the Lean Startup methodology can help startups to improve their productivity. By eliminating waste and streamlining processes, startups can get more done with less resources. The Lean Startup methodology is not a magic bullet, but it can be a powerful tool for startups that are looking to build better products and businesses. Section 8. Reducing waste, maximizing resources. The Lean Startup methodology is all about eliminating waste. Waste can take many forms, including wasted time, wasted money, and wasted effort. One of the best ways to reduce waste is to focus on building only what is needed. This means avoiding features that are not essential to the core value proposition of the product. Another way to reduce waste is to automate tasks whenever possible. This could involve using software to automate marketing tasks, customer support tasks, or even product development tasks. By reducing waste, startups can free up more resources to focus on the things that matter most. Section 9. Building strong customer relationships. The Lean Startup methodology places a strong emphasis on building strong customer relationships. This is because customer feedback is essential for validating ideas and improving products. Startups can build strong customer relationships by being responsive to customer feedback, providing excellent customer service, and creating a community around their product. By building strong customer relationships, startups can create a loyal customer base that will help them to grow their business.